What's happening, sports fans? We got another great top recruit to talk to. Hopefully this helps you pass the time in quarantine. Dylan Shubert from West Hills is going to join us. He's committed to run track and cross country at Cal State East Bay. He also just finished a pair of AP tests, so I think we're either going to catch him mentally exhausted or in a really good mood. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk about your decision to commit to Cal State East Bay. Congratulations on that. What was that decision for you?
A joyous decision. I was very excited when I went up there and I met the guys and the coaches. They were very family welcoming, and that's a big thing for me with cross country because it's a team sport. And it was just nice to go up there and feel really welcomed there.
So was this a school that was always on your radar and just everything kind of clicked that you got the dream spot? Did it have to pitch itself to you? What was the process like for you arriving at this?
So they contacted me first, and they kind of early in the radar with me, so I kind of kept them in a loop a lot. And then they asked me to come up there for an unofficial visit my junior year, so I went up there and I loved it up there, and it was a really fun time. Then I went to another college and it just didn't feel the same. So when I went back for my official visit, it was I just felt like this was the school for me, and it was just great.
Did you feel a little bit upset that they didn't have a blue football field? Did that make you feel a little uncomfortable? You're like, where's the weird blue football field?
It was weird looking at a green field for the first time. I was like, I don't have one of these at my own school, so I was a little confused at first.
You're like, is it supposed to be that color? Are you guys okay with that color?
Is that all right?
Yeah. So you are a track and field and cross country. I know that's kind of a combination that's pretty common for your sports, but what was the recruiting angle for them? Was it more of pitching you as cross country as the family? It's track and field as the family? Help us out there.
It was the cross country. That's my preferred sport of the other two. That's my preferred running. I just like the longer distances and stuff. So when I went up there, it was during cross country season. So it was just that was the real general vibe around the school.
Okay, so anytime I talk to an athlete that played a sport that I did not, because I did the traditional Americana football and baseball thing, so I did not get a chance to experience a lot of this kind of stuff. I have a ton of questions, but the one that keeps coming up lately for me in cross country is it turns out that it's way more physical and cutthroat bump and run type thing at the beginning of a race that then 15 miles down when you're at some ebbs and flows and turns where nobody's watching, It turns even more physical. Any stories specifically that you could tell us, or just any general comments that you can make about how underappreciatedly physically contact and demanding cross country can be?
I remember for one story, it was state this year. We got out really hard and we just started going at each other, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, what is happening? This is not a contact sport. Please stop hitting me." And it was crazy.
Well, and because it seems like it's something that almost you guys are like a more deadly assassin vibe, because some of the people I've been talking to are like, yeah, someone will bump you at the beginning and you'll get them back 7.5 miles later.
Oh, that for sure happens all the time. Somebody will hit you early in the race, and you'll finally catch back up and then be like, "You're that one person who hit me early. I might just accidentally hit you now."
Yeah, so to me, after about 2 or 3 miles, the only thought I would have is breathe. Just keep breathing. Please don't die. Just keep breathing. But no, for cross country people, it's like, where's bib number 43? Where's bib number 43? Where's bib? Oh, a rock that I got to go over. Where's bib number 43? It seems like there's some of that stuff where it's like, man, I have such more respect for you guys because your body ultimately is your athlete. It is your sport, and you got to keep it in really good peak condition all year. So you can't necessarily always be dealing with the bumps and bruises of that kind of stuff. Any other misconstrued, unknown, misunderstood facts about cross country and your sport?
It's hard. Everybody's like, running is easy. No, but
do you have favorite track, favorite area, home field advantage? Does that exist in? I'm assuming that has to exist in cross country, right?
Yeah, because at West Hills our course is awful because it's just up and down hills. So when schools come there, they're usually like, "Oh, lots of hills." But yeah, I think it's just my schools. But outside of school, the CIF Balboa Park one is by far my favorite because you're running in Balboa Park. It's the CIF course, and it's just always a big fun meet.
I like the irony of the West Hills track potentially having no hills. I like where your head's at. Get rid of the hills in your own school's alma mater,
Yes.
school's name. But yeah, um, what about that at the college level? Was there a part of Cal State East Bay's running area that you're like, man, that was something that I went out for a jog on and I really liked that area?
Yeah, so they've got the little combination of both, where if you go down the hill to this, you can go into the city and kind of have city running, but on the back they just have millions of trails back into the hills, and it's incredible because you get the best of both worlds.
I'm gonna turn around or have you turn around there. You got some medals hanging,
Yes.
and what do we got back there? CIF championship placement. Walk us through some of the hardware.
Okay, so we have two CIF medals when I got 14th both times somehow. That was weird. And then
Consistency,
oh,
man.
it was very weird that happened. And then last year I got third in CIF, so that's the one over there. That's my second place in Mount Sac, and I don't remember what place that other one is, but that's from Hoka.
It seems like the track kids they're like, eventually I don't even remember all the medals. I just start winning them. I run and people
Man.
put things around my neck and they say congratulations.
Yeah,
I
those
like
are just some of my favorites.
I like what you got going on there. Really creative pair of jerseys there. I like the stripes. I like the word pack.
Yeah.
Are those your two favorites? Why those two up on the wall?
Because those are the two retired ones. There's another one that I don't know where I put, but that's the one we had to wear my junior year because we ran out of uniforms. So we had to pull very old ones from our lockers. And then that pack one is one of the seniors gave me before he left. So I just keep them up there.
What are we talking about in terms of throwback? Is that 80s West Hills jersey? Like how far back into the dusty, crusty old ages of West Hills did you have to drag that thing out? Because that's got a certain kind of retro vibe to it.
I think they were used during I think they were used during 2010 for sure, up to 2015. But I don't even know if they're older than that.
Well, it looks retro, so you could have gotten away with saying anything. I like the premise of you dusted out some classical old stuff. Favorite uniform though, is there a different look that you guys rocked over your 4 years that you really liked?
Oh yeah, we got these ones my senior year. They were Nike. They were pretty much that white pack one, but they were Nike and they had blue strips. And it was just nice to put on, like, it felt like the last uniform. It was just one of those, like, this is going to be my last uniform kind of things.
And it makes you run better, right? It's inexplicable. Just if you feel good, you run good.
Yes, that is a common fact.
Now, what's the shoe choice? I mean, because I know that like basketball players, they like as many of the big colorful shoes as they can. Baseball players, it's all about the certain type of cleat. For cross country and distance guys, how do you decide, or do you even care? Is it ritualistic? Is it superstition? Is it good colors? Is it fit? What? Just please inform me, educate me.
So we have, for our team, usually we have two shoes. We have like the training normal shoes, which a rule on our team is the training shoe has to look as ugly as possible. That's how you know it's a good shoe. Because if you get the fancy Nike X Fly whatever, your foot's gonna die. So if you get the ugliest combat boot looking thing, that's the best shoe for you. But then for running, for one of the seniors my freshman year was just like, there's this certain type of Nike shoe. It's called the Nike Streak. It's this thin Nike. He's like, get the most colorful and the thinnest shoe, because the race shoe is the cool looking shoe. That's what you want to be seen in. You don't want to be seen in your big combat boots. You want to be seen in your like nice sleek shoes.
Do you, I don't pretend to know if you have these on hand that you can grab real quick, but do you have one of each? Can we see a side by side comparison of what the ratty disgusting shoe looks like and what the race day shoe looks like?
Yes, I know exactly where they are. I will be right back.
Yeah, take your time.
So we got the Combat Brooks boots, the biggest sticking things you can find in the world, and then compared to the thinnest looking shoe you could have in the world.
Okay.
So you just go for the ugly black, just heavy boot, thin Nike, just Look cool shoe.
Very nice, very nice. So, is it going to switch over to all red and black shoes next year? Are you gonna lean in with the team thing, or do you still carry the shoe there
Oh,
that you wear now? Is that your lucky shoe specifically? What's the plan next year?
oh, next year I've already bought the shoes for next year's colors. I'm
Oh,
I'm full way with the color thing.
okay. Okay, very
Cause
nice. Well, I don't want to spoil that yet, but please, when you do debut them next year, tag us on social media so we can
for
share that
sure.
as a throwback Thursday for Remember When. He was talking about how he's ready to debut these already.
Yes.
Did you buy them like once you committed, once you knew where you were going, or these shoes been like you seem specifically excited about this fit?
Because okay, so I got them for my birthday because I was like, oh, they're on sale because everything is on sale right now. So I was like, all right, these are my school colors. I mean, they're on sale. They're usually 150. They're 90. This is this is
You had
this
to.
is destiny.
You had to.
This is
You'd be dumb
destiny.
not
Yeah,
to.
yeah, exactly.
So am I hearing that you celebrated your birthday in quarantine?
Yes.
What'd you do, man?
Uh, what I do? I sat around. Lot of sitting around.
Did you get like a drive by at least? Did someone at least come drive by and wave
Yes.
to say hi and happy birthday?
Yeah, my best friend stopped by. That
Man,
was cool.
I this is going to be so hard to explain to people in a couple of years. Like,
Oh, yeah.
wait, you just sat at home for your birthday, and you're like, yeah, boring as hell. Did you at least get a cake or something, or
Yeah,
some
my
sort of
mom made
so?
a cake.
Very
Yeah.
nice, very nice. Let's see. Just kind of going on that same thing, same vein, same theme. What has this all been like? I mean, birthday, yes, but also season, but also prom, but graduation. Like, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just kind of an open-ended question. What have the last 2 months been like for a high school senior?
It's been kind of crazy because when we first got the announcement that like, oh, they're shutting down school for 2 weeks, we were like, yes, extended spring break. This will be the best thing of our lives. And then as that went on, it was like, okay, so we're probably not going back to school. And I was like, okay, that's kind of a blow. That hurts. And then it was like, oh, CIF canceled your season. I was like, that's when it really hurt. That's when it felt like it's truly in quarantine when they're like, yeah, we're no longer doing um, any state, any CIF, and I was like, well, then I did all this training for kind of nothing, and it was like all these 4 years kind of led up to just kind of just an unfair end almost in a way. Where you're just like, I've worked. I bet every senior feels this who had a spring sport right now. It's probably like, I worked so hard for 4 years and now it's gone. And then same thing with like the prom thing. Like you don't think it's like a big thing until you don't have it. I was never like, oh, prom's gonna be like a great night or whatever. It's gonna be fun. And then I lost it. I'm like, oh wait, that would have been really fun to have actually. I'm now I don't get to talk about it like the other seniors got to. And I mean, graduation just hits hard because everybody feels they've earned a graduation, and everybody has. So losing that was just like, no, not that too.
I really appreciate you sharing kind of the honest take on that. No two people have the same answer, so together, somewhere in the middle is the tapestry of how everybody's feeling. On a little bit lighter note, I noticed you got a head of lettuce that most people would be jealous of anyway.
Yeah.
Are we going into it's never been this long before ever territory? Are you comfortable with what you got right now and you don't need a haircut? Are you jonesing for a haircut? You're going to shave it all off as soon as you get a chance.
Here's the weird thing is my hair used to be thin and straight.
Okay.
So it used to be like long to my neck. This is the new curly. This is the longest it's ever been. And it's
So wait,
sometimes
what happened? Did you start curling it yourself? You just grew into it one day and you're like, now it's all curly. Like, what happened?
so it was kind of thin and straight and then got a little bit thicker sophomore year and I was like, "Hey, why don't I shave my head with my friend?" And the only thing that stopped me was him saying no, but he didn't say no. So we both shaved our head and then it came back curly. And I was just like, "Oh, this is the new thing."
You're like, well, that's a change. Unexpected side effect of shaving head is now having curly.
I was
Um,
like,
but okay, so this is the longest it has been as a curly headed mop.
"Yes."
I'm getting the sense that if this was track season, you'd have to have like a hair tie and a bandana and everything
Oh,
holding back everything. Are you
yes.
worried at all about the aerodynamics of this?
Um, no, but the one problem that has been there has been the heat. Curly hair was, at least not my curly hair, was made for heat. So if I wake up too late and I have to run in the heat, just a heavy wet mess and it just is horrible.
Yeah, it's certainly. unexpectedly, I don't think anyone was worried going into a global quarantine during a pandemic about their hair, but everyone's starting to be like, do I just shave it at this point? This is starting to get annoying. It's starting to get long. I have to start wearing hats now in interviews every now and then because sometimes it just doesn't agree with me. So I'm glad to know that things are doing okay. We got to track down a photo of what the straight-haired version of it all looked like before all that happened. Because the curly hair just I can't quite make it match up. That used to be straight and then it poof went all curly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It certainly seems kind of crazy. What are you going to miss I mean, maybe not the most, but when I asked you just what are you going to miss about West Hills or high school or San Diego or just life here in general, what are some things that come to mind?
A lot of my friends are all going to they're all going to Cal Poly, Pomona, which is cool because they're all going together. So I'll miss being with them because they're going to be together still, but I'm going to feel like almost left out. So for sure, friends, family, you don't miss family till you're like, you kind of get sick of them and then you don't have the support and you're like, oh, I miss them now. So
do you have a favorite Mexican food place that you're going to miss?
Yes, there is an Estrada's in Santee that makes very good California burritos. That was the plan for the AP test, was take my AP test. We're all going to eat there after.
And you got robbed of that.
Yes.
Man, dang. Well, Estrada's, deliver this man a burrito. He's had a long day. He deserves one. He deserves a good California burrito delivered his way. We really appreciate you being on with us. We really appreciate, for the last 4 years, you entertaining and bringing some joy into all of our lives with your athleticism. And everybody, this is the part of the interview. You know what to do now. Stay at least 6 feet away from this kid, but give him a round of applause or a distance 5 or some sort of congratulations and a thanks and some sort of a send-off, because he's going to go represent all of us collectively as a CIF section at the next level next year. Thank you so much, my man. You stay safe. Sports fans, you guys stay indoors so we can get back to sports, not just interviews, but actual sports as soon as possible. Everyone stay safe. Take it easy. We'll talk to you guys soon.